90,000 music fans expected daily. The controlled chaos underway downtown as CMA Fest takes over Music City.
Hello! CMA Fan Fest! How's everybody doing?
Plus, wine and a Broadway musical are just the beginning. The massive new project in the works for entertainment icon Dolly Parton. Fox 17 News at 9 starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
To be a part of that risk mitigation, harm minimization strategy to help look after people.
Tens of thousands of music fans from literally all over the globe are in Nashville tonight for the 50th annual CMA Fest.
And keeping them safe is priority number one. This is a live look down at Broadway right now as we speak. You can see all the crowds there.
It's happening, and as Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker shows us, the commitment to security downtown in the district is hard to miss.
That's right, we're expecting very large crowds here on Broadway. An estimated 90,000 people here each day on Broadway. Now, everywhere you turn, if you come down here, you'll notice that every corner is some sort of security personnel or first responder. So various agencies are really working together down here. Well, country music fans celebrate one of the biggest weekends in Nashville. A lot goes on behind the scenes to make sure everyone stays safe. That's happening from our rooftop buildings down to the ground, with an enhanced presence from both police and Nashville Fire.
And we know with the recent disappearance of Riley Strain and death of Riley Strain and other challenges downtown that we really need to find a place to take care of our people, and that's been something I've heard a lot from constituents.
On top of having more security and medical personnel, Councilman Jacob Coopin says the city is collaborating with nonprofits.
You guys want some water to cool down? Look at that, look at that.
Earlier this week, we caught up with Dan Terry with Red Frogs USA.
Water?
This nonprofit group is providing phone chargers, water and food, or even a walk home from noon to midnight all 4 days of CMA Fest.
You know, that's what Red Frogs is all about, is that positive peer presence in alcohol-fueled environments.
Terry says this works as a safe space for those who may lose their group.
Oh, sunscreen.
Or even for someone who needs some extra help to sober up.
And if everyone just did something and it made a little bit of impact over a long period of time, it adds up to some big impact in life.
Councilman Jacob Coopin says this will act as a pilot program this weekend, but the city is actively looking for ways to incorporate them more permanently down the line. Now, the Red Frogs tent is set up by the Hard Rock. Keep in mind there's also a first aid tent that's set up by the riverfront stage. And again, there is security personnel, medics, and police officers down here that you could just walk right up to in the event that you need them. For now, reporting downtown, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
It's the place where our dreams really did come true.
An award-winning duo performing at the CMA Fest this year. They are enjoying literally the fruits of their labor after these two sisters spent years performing downtown at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row on Broadway. And Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller witnessing this full circle moment for Tiger Lily Gold.
Yes, Scott, where Tiger Lily Gold is blowing up after winning their first ACM as the new duo of the year. Now, this place I'm at right now, which is Whiskey Row on Broadway, is a very special place to them because it's where a lot of their success got started. And now they're coming back to CMA Fest as performers and celebrating at a very special place that they call home.
Hey, hey.
Krista and Kendra Slaybaugh have been playing music together since they could walk.
We're sisters. We're from North Dakota.
They started their band 11 years ago, toured around the country, and then moved to Music City to pursue their dream.
We moved down to Nashville. We played on Broadway for 3 years, and we spent 2 of those 3 years playing at Whiskey Row.
Krista and Kendra performed at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row on Broadway every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, doing 4-hour sets of cover band music.
We made a living down here. I mean, that's how we paid our bills for a good 3 years of our lives.
Now this sister duo is back, signing posters and having fans line up for them. After winning ACM New Duo of the Year and receiving 2 CMT nominations. and having their song, Shoot Tequila, go viral worldwide.
It's so cool because like places like Whiskey Row, we got to know fan by fan.
Yeah.
We got to talk to them and develop relationships with them. So
to come back here and celebrate with everyone is just so full circle.
And this was the main bar we used to play at. And so 4 years ago, we were still playing for tips.
Krista and Kendra say their career has not been an overnight success story.
Yeah, we've been a band for 11 years. It's been very slow and steady, wins the race for us.
A sense of gratitude that when the big moments come,
when they announced, and the ACM goes to Tiger Lily Gold, we both were holding hands and just started crying.
They can appreciate even more the places.
Whiskey Row holds a special place in our hearts.
It really is a place where our dreams have come true.
And the people that are helping make their dreams come true.
Now, Tiger Lily Gold says that their goal is to sell out arenas and become the first sister duo to have a #1 hit on country radio. But for now, they say that they're just lucky to be doing what they love every day and perform music. Reporting live from Whiskey Row, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. Well, the artists participating in CMA Fest this weekend all have stories of how they got where they are today. And many will tell you success did not fall in their lap right away. We caught up with singer-songwriter Drew Baldridge. You hear his songs on the radio, but he'll tell you he got his start playing down at Tootsie's on Broadway.
I call it honky-tonk school. You know, you come here, you learn how to perform for, at Tootsie's, there'd be sometimes in the middle of winter, you're playing for 5 people when I came here. And there's sometimes you're playing for a packed bar and you got to know how to entertain all of it. And what's harder is entertaining for less people. When there's only 5 people in there and you got to put on the same show. That's when it's really difficult. And that's when you really realize, can I do this or not? Because you're going to play lots of years, I did anyways, of nobody coming out or maybe just a small crowd and really learning how to do that. And so when I see artists, every time I'm walking and I think of Tootsie's in the airport, because I did that.
That's right.
I
Oh, you were playing at the airport?
I did both. I played down here and in the
okay.
airport. So I'd sit in the corner and sing my little songs with my acoustic guitar. And when I see that now, my heart goes out. And if I have any cash, it always goes in that tip jar, knowing how hard it is to come here and write and sing music.
It builds character, gives you some grit.
It does, and without those 13 years of being here, being told no, and losing my record deal, losing my agent, losing my manager, I wouldn't be able to have my own label now, my top 20 single, because I learned all the things, the failures made me stronger. And I think that's something that everybody in every business out there in life, whatever you have failed or you're like, man, that was a failure in my life, turn that around and try to learn from that. And that's what I try to do, is learn from that, grow from that. What did I learn in that situation? How can I go further?
That's such a universal message, isn't it? Like a takeaway.
Yeah.
Everyone's been in that spot at some point in their life.
At some point, for sure. And so it's really cool to know that, I look at Tootsie's over there and think how far we've come now, and we're playing CMA stages and, with songs on the radio. Sometimes in the last couple of weeks, I don't feel like I'm in my own body. I feel like an imposter. It's
an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. Or people are coming up and talking about the song or singing along. I don't know, super weird.
Like a pinch yourself moment, I've made it.
Yeah, it's definitely a pinch myself moment.
Love that. Well, continuing coverage as we now examine some of the places to park downtown for CMA Fest. As you can see from the map, there are plenty of places out there and a wide range of prices. Parkopedia has an interactive website that essentially shows all the parking lots down there, where they are. You can click on each one of them for specific pricing information by the hour. Keep in mind that some of these lots may be blocked off because of CMA Fest. Of course, that happens. Now, one good deal that we have found is the parking lot at 5th and Broadway. This is the entrance right here. Looks like a big mouth, and it really is, because this has more than 800 parking spaces downtown. And beyond the fact that it is centrally located, just steps away from all the action, normally they charge $17 a day for 2 hours. But get this, now, because it's a CMA, you can park all day long. Let's see if I can get you to see this. $20. Not a bad deal. That's in their garage, 5th and Broad.
Well, we want to know what you think. How many days do you plan on going to CMA Fest? And 239 people weighing in.
92.1%. Wow, what? Say none, compared to 3.8% that said 3. 3.8% said 1. 0.4% said 2. Well, I do think the people that would be voting on this are at the shows right now. So maybe that's skewing the numbers here. But this poll is live right now. To cast your vote, you can scan the QR code on your screen or go to our X page. Our handle's at Fox Nashville. We'll show you updated poll results here a little later in the newscast. Everyone that stayed home voted.
Hello! CMA Fan Fest! How's everybody doing?
You heard her. Dolly Domination coming up in just a couple of minutes. The four new projects that Dolly Parton unveiled today downtown at CMA Fest.
And day one of CMA Fest, it sure was a hot one. We had high temperatures very close to 90 degrees right here in Nashville. A little bit of a breeze, but just some pretty intense sunshine that we had earlier this afternoon. There's you that live look over Broadway. 80 degrees, our current temperature right here in Nashville. We're clear right now. We're going to stay clear and dry as we head through the rest of the night, too. No rain popping up at all right there on the radar. Current temperatures, they're in the lower 70s to the lower 80s. 73 Tullahoma, the coolest spot on the map. That's Clarksville, right at 70. 75, the current temperature for us in Dickson. Coming up, we're going to be...
Stay safe.
In your entertainment news, Dolly Parton used the kickoff of CMA Fest to announce a series of new projects, including a new downtown hotel.
Huge news. And you know, while Dolly is clearly enjoying her icon status, she is working right now like she still has something to prove. How big is Dolly Parton? This line started forming hours before she took the stage this morning at the Music City Center.
Hello! CMA Fan Fest! How's everybody doing?
The woman knows how to make an entrance. And Dolly also knows how to market herself, using her CMA Fest platform to announce a new Broadway musical she says will make fans laugh and cry.
And that musical is going to be called Hello, I'm Dolly. And it's going to come out in 26, and I've written a whole lot of original songs for it, as well as all the hit songs that you know.
That would be enough for most stars, but Dolly is also launching a new line of wines this month, beginning with a Chardonnay and a new cookbook with her sister Rachel. But the biggest announcement is her plan to open a new downtown hotel and museum in the old Baker Donaldson building at the corner of 3rd and Commerce.
And we were just looking at the property, and we were walking through, and there was an empty room, and there was a table over on the side, and of all things, my book, The Song Teller. And I thought, why in the world is that just laying over there? And sure enough, we thought, well, that must be a sign, so we're going to call it Song Teller.
Dolly's appearance included a question and answer session with former Miss USA Rachel Smith, who's now the weekend host of Entertainment Tonight. Dolly said fans are always asking what she's doing, and she's clearly been saving up so she'd have some good stories to tell. And she certainly does, on top of all that we told you about. Dolly working on a new album and a docuseries with her extended family. She says they all sing, they all play. That docuseries, by the way, traces the family's roots back to Europe and how they came to settle in the Smoky Mountains.
All right, big day out at CMA Fest. The weather held up for us.
It did. You were out there for a long time.
Oh, yeah. It was hot.
It was very hot.
But
you're both going to sleep well tonight.
We didn't get rained out. Yeah, for sure.
Really good.
And we're going to keep it rolling, right?
We are going to keep it rolling. Tomorrow is even going to be better. I think tomorrow is going to be the best day of them all because today it was hot and it was humid. No rain, though, fortunately. Plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, though, more sunshine and no rain. And the humidity is going to drop. So that's going to really make a big difference for any of y'all that are heading out to CMA Fest for tomorrow. Right now, there's a live look over Broadway. You can just see how packed it is down on Broadway right now. A lot of action going on. 80 degrees, our current temperature. Still holding on to a little bit of that warmth from earlier in the day. Clear skies right now, and we're going to stay clear as we head through the rest of the night, too. Temperatures for everybody else, we are in the lower 70s to the lower 80s, 70 in Clarksville. Again, we're at 80 right now here in Nashville. That is our current temperature. It's also 80 up in Gallatin. So overall, not doing too bad with our temperatures. In the rain, I'm not seeing any of that popping up on radar. This little specks of blue that you're seeing on radar, that is not actually rainfall. It is all dry here at the moment across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. And that's exactly how it's going to stay for us for the rest of the night, too. So dry conditions as we head through the overnight hours. For tomorrow morning, waking up to a dry start. Tomorrow afternoon on into the evening hours. Future track not able to pick up on any rain really anywhere too close to us, and we're going to see mostly clear skies for tomorrow too. A lot of sunshine as we head throughout the day. Mostly clear skies for the night too. As we head on into Saturday, this is when things start to change up a little bit. This is 10 a.m. on Saturday. Some of these showers are going to try to start to move in from the west. They're going to slide a little bit further to the east. They're also going to run into some drier air though, so I think it's going to be a little bit harder for these storms to actually get going for tomorrow. So maybe a few spotty showers, but overall for the afternoon, but overall not really looking at much of a rain chance until we hit late Saturday night on into early Sunday morning. That'll be the best rain chance that we get. This is the midnight picture, so very early Sunday morning, and then I'm going to have to change models, take it out a little bit longer range, so not as high a quality right here on this model. But those showers will keep on moving to the east as we head through the morning hours. That's 7 o'clock right there, so still a shower chance right here in the Nashville area. And then by 5 o'clock, still more often on showers, and even a few thunderstorms will be possible as we go throughout the day on a Sunday. The good news though with this on Sunday, not expecting any sort of severe weather threat. None of these storms should be severe, just don't have some of those ingredients that we need to get those strong storms going. So just regular old summertime showers and storms. 63 the low tonight, mostly clear. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, if you are heading out to CMA Fest, like we've been talking about, tomorrow's shaping up to be a fantastic day for you. 10 a.m., plenty of sunshine. We're going to be sunny basically all day long. 77 by 10 o'clock. By 3, we're in the mid 80s, and by 8 o'clock, we should be in the mid 70s. I think 84, that's also going to be around our high temperature for tomorrow. We warm up just a little bit better on Saturday. Again, bringing that rain chance late Saturday night on into Sunday. I'll show you what next week's looking like. Looking pretty good. All those details coming up here in just a bit.
Also had executive power. Will President Biden use his to pardon his son Hunter if he's convicted on federal gun charges?
A new warning about how artificial intelligence could shake up banking and investing. I'm Atrell Nashar in Washington with what experts are predicting.
I'm Jennifer Waddell from Fox 17 News this morning. There's a study that is pairing veterans with specially trained service dogs, and this could have significant results for our veterans. How research.
In science and technology news, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen issues a warning to bankers about artificial intelligence.
Fox 17 News' Atrell Nashar now with a closer look at the concerns, and you can let us know what you think by scanning the QR code that will appear on your screen.
Artificial intelligence has quickly emerged as a top concern for federal officials tasked with ensuring the stability of America's financial system.
This is a rapidly evolving field. We have our work cut out for us.
Meeting Thursday with public and private sector leaders, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen acknowledged the difficulty in balancing AI's potential for innovation with its ability to do great harm. AI has already ushered in efficient ways to detect fraud and generate answers for chatbots. But Yellen and others warn the more AI is embedded in the financial system, the higher the risk it could backfire. It could be used to deploy scams and manipulate markets with misinformation.
Insufficient or faulty data could also perpetuate or introduce new biases in financial decision-making.
Federal regulation is far behind, and many banks are not prepared to mitigate these risks. JP Morgan Chase started using AI more than a decade ago. Today, the company has more than 2,000 AI or machine learning experts. CEO Jamie Dimon says the technology could be as transformative as electricity.
So like right now, you go on your phone and you can move money and buy stocks. That wasn't true 20 years ago. So yes, everything you do will change to the technology.
Like any other sector exposed to AI, there's the risk of actual people becoming obsolete. In his annual letter to shareholders, Dimon says our use of AI has the potential to augment virtually every job.
Here in Congress, lawmakers are fully aware of these risks. They hear about them from experts all the time, but even they can admit they don't have much of a track record when it comes to keeping up with tech issues.
How do we not screw it up?
So I think we have to be humble, modest enough to realize getting from, yes, we ought to have guardrails, to how we write those in a way that we could actually legislate is going to be a huge challenge.
That was back in September, and Congress is no closer to taking action, while AI technology gets more advanced each day. On Capitol Hill, I'm Atrell Nashar reporting.
Now, during the story, we had a QR code up linking you to a poll asking if you think artificial intelligence will create more benefits or more dangers. 135 people weighing in, and the overwhelming majority, really 4 out of 5, 80%, say that they think more dangers. And we'd like to thank you all for taking a moment to cast a vote.
Honoring D-Day in a unique way, the Tennessee...
New tonight, several members of Tennessee's congressional delegation are in France tonight for the ceremonies marking the 80th anniversary of D-Day. It was, of course, the beginning of the end of World War II. Thousands of American soldiers storming the beaches of Normandy as German artillery rained down on them from the cliffs. More than 2,000 of our soldiers died on those beaches and are now buried in the American cemetery just above. 7th District Tennessee Congressman Mark Green, a retired Army surgeon, says freedom is never free.
But most of the time in history, when a country wins a war, they keep the land. And all we've ever asked for is a place to bury our dead. And I want to thank France for giving us this land to place America's sons and daughters here, to always remember the sacrifices paid for freedom.
80 years ago tonight is when members of the 101st and 82nd Airborne Divisions parachuted behind enemy lines in the second wave of this D-Day invasion. Congressman Green parachuted today to commemorate the anniversary.
In Operation Crime and Justice, police arresting a man accused of DUI and doing burnouts very close to the CMA Fest area. Police say that this man, 51-year-old Mark Geist, performed those stunts on 4th and Broadway last night. When they pulled him over, they said he had slurred speech and glassy, watery eyes and admitted to drinking alcohol. They say that he was also driving on a revoked license.
New tonight, President Biden says he will not pardon his son Hunter if Hunter is found guilty on federal gun charges. Prosecutors say that Hunter Biden lied about his drug use to buy a gun. Fox 17 News' Christine Frizan with the very latest from the courtroom in Dover, Delaware.
A long pattern of drug use by Hunter Biden had already been laid out. Witness after witness. Prosecutors used bank records, photos of his drugs, and his gun. And even Hunter Biden's own voice reading from his memoir.
I pushed the small rock of crack into the tip of a cigarette and lit it up. Like most things one wants to become successful at, smoking crack requires practice and the right tools.
But day 4 in the trial zeroed in on October 12th, 2018, the day he filled out an application to purchase a gun, which asked if he was a user of or addicted to drugs or controlled substances. He answered no. Hallie Biden is the widow of Hunter Biden's late brother, Beau, who Hunter later dated, and who also found the gun and threw it in a trash can. While she told the defense team she did not witness Hunter Biden doing drugs between October 6th and October 22nd, text messages fill in some holes. In an October 13th text to Hallie, he says he's waiting for a dealer named Mookie. Hallie later writes she called him 500 times and no answer. The next day, Hunter texts that he was sleeping on a car, smoking crack.
All of it will paint a very compelling picture to the jury, I would suspect, about Hunter Biden, his state of mind at the time that he purchased the firearm.
The text messages, submitted as evidence by the Department of Justice, were found on Hunter Biden's laptop, once denounced by more than 50 intelligence officials as being part of a Russian information operation.
What was labeled as misinformation, election interference, several years ago today is being authenticated by the FBI, being used in a criminal prosecution.
Looking ahead, the defense team will still need to call its witnesses, and then we'll wait for closing arguments in the first of 2 federal cases for the president's son. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizan.
Earlier in our newscast, we told you about our X poll up and running right now, asking how many days do you plan on going to CMA Fest? 92.1% say, nope, skipping it. 3.9% say they're going to attend 1 day this year. Less than 1% say 2. 3.5% say 3. We'll have another update for you on these numbers tonight on Fox 17 News at 10. Each night, look for a brand new poll on our X page.
In news across the state, Governor Bill Lee visiting summer learning camps today in Cheatham and Obion counties. Summer learning camps are designed to strengthen student achievement as part of Tennessee's K-3 literacy strategy.
Today was a good day, but it was just warm and it was humid too. We had 89 degrees right here at Nashville, and then bringing the humidity made it feel even warmer than that. The good news though, no rain, so none of those big outdoor events that we have going on here in Nashville, none of those got impacted by any sort of bad weather, so that's at least good. Tomorrow's going to be a really, really good one for you if you have any outdoor plans. 84 degrees, our high temperature for tomorrow. Typically this time of year we're in the mid 80s, around 86, so a couple degrees below normal, but that humidity too is going to be lower than what we are used to seeing for this time of year. So tomorrow I'm thinking it should be a really nice day for you. CMA Fest the next few days. This is Friday, 84 again. Saturday we're at 85, so just a degree warmer. It is going to get a little bit more humid again, also bringing in a little bit of a better rain chance. We do start the day out though with some drier air when that first round of showers tries to move in. Those I think are going to be kind of few and far between. Very spotty showers on Saturday, at least for the earlier part of the day, but late Saturday night on into Sunday especially, that's when we start to bring in that better chance for some showers and thunderstorms across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky. Temperatures on Sunday should drop down to the lower 80s. So Friday we're all dry. Saturday later on in the night a better rain chance. That carries on over into Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday not looking too bad at all either. Just can't entirely rule out a couple of very stray spotty showers. Nothing widespread though for us for most of next week. So next week overall shaping up to be a really good week for you. It is going to start to warm up a little bit next week too though. Temperatures should get back to the mid 80s by Wednesday and Thursday.
Is it making a difference why some say billions of dollars in funding is not?
Make it happen.
Tennessee Titans in the thick of their mandatory minicamp this week, and it's given us a better look at not just the offense and the defense, but more importantly, how they match up against each other. Still no pads on at this point. That will come later on in training camp, but we did get to see the team's 7-on-7 sessions this week. Wednesday was red zone heavy, where the defense got the edge over the offense with several passes batted down and an interception. And today, the offense was a lot sharper, and head coach Brian Callahan even said he thought the group responded well after getting a little beat up by the defense yesterday.
Offensively, we bounced back from a not great day yesterday in 7-on-7 in the red zone. Defense kind of kicked our teeth in, and then today they came out with some good energy, and our first set of 7-on-7 was much better. So good to see that.
Coach Callahan also noted that they are at the end of their installs for both offense and defense. Now it's about fine-tuning everything in between, including the offensive line. This season, the Titans could see anywhere from 2 to 4 new starters up front. And new offensive line coach Bill Callahan has had his hands full trying to get his line ready. Now, Callahan brought with him 2 special sleds nicknamed Olga and Bertha, and already the 2 are big hits.
Those are my best friends right there. You know, I love going against it, and just every single day you look forward to getting the chance to really master your craft with it. So
yeah, they're tough. Everyone's getting the hang of it. Everyone's been humbled by it. I definitely got to get better at it. There's always a debate every day about which sled is off on that day.
My money's on Olga, by the way. College football season will be here before you know it, and that includes the Music City Bowl. The date for the TransPerfect Music City Bowl announced today, so now you can mark your calendar for December 30th. We'll be here before you know it. Nashville SC currently on their international break, but today the club chose to spend their spare time helping clean up the community. The Boys in Gold teaming up with Nobody Trashes Tennessee campaign, and they helped clean up several neighborhoods around Geodis Park. A great way to give back on their day off. Their next match, by the way, set for June 15th against the New York Red Bulls. Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Today was a really good one for us, a little bit warm and humid. Tomorrow's shaping up to be even better. I'll show you when we bring in that rain chance this weekend, though, coming.
Morning.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with Feed America for the Sinclair Cares Summer Hunger Relief Program. You can donate by scanning the QR code on your screen or go to sinclaircares.com.
With more than 100,000 people continuing to die every year due to drug overdoses, Spotlight on America's Angie Moreski investigates whether billions of dollars in national opioid settlement money is even making a difference.
Do you need any Narcan?
From funding harm reduction services in Michigan
to funding law enforcement in Louisiana. Billions of dollars are going to a wide variety of purposes nationwide that are supposed to fight the opioid epidemic. But while more states are promising to report their spending, 3 years into the process, it's still difficult in many cases to find out exactly who is getting the money, how much, and for what. Has this money helped yet?
It's hard to say because of that lack of transparency.
Opioid Policy Institute Executive Director Jonathan Stoltman is frustrated by the lack of transparency and accountability, especially since more than 100,000 people have continued to die of overdoses every year since the settlement was reached in 2021.
We're wasting time. We know that people are dying from this every single day.
Families who've lost loved ones to substance abuse march on Washington every year for the National Trail of Truth, demanding more resources for treatment and recovery. And now they've added calls for more accountability for opioid spending.
It is on the deaths of our kids that these funds were acquired.
Alexis Pluce founded Truth Farm to help fight the opioid epidemic after her son Jeff died of an overdose in 2014. She is frustrated by the lack of progress.
They can't say the funds aren't there anymore. The funds are there.
I think accountability here is essential.
New York Congressman Paul Tonko wants to see more federal oversight. He is among a group of Democratic Congress members who sent this letter urging the Biden administration to closely track opioid settlement fund spending to ensure populations in need of additional support receive it.
We want to make certain that there's no waste.
Tonko says it's imperative to know where settlement money is going to help coordinate billions in federal dollars also being spent to battle the epidemic.
I do share the concerns.
Even Dr. Raul Gupta, head of the National Drug Control Policy Office, told Spotlight on America he believes more needs to be done to monitor settlement spending. But Gupta wrote back to lawmakers saying he doesn't have authority from Congress to require states to publicly report.
So should the federal government tie some of the grant dollars that it gives to states to reporting on the settlement funding? Do we need to pass a new law?
We may.
The settlement agreement calls for 85% of the money to be spent on evidence-based solutions like treatment, prevention, harm reduction, and education. But for now, with no reporting requirements, actually doing it is on the honor system.
State and local governments are expected to get nearly $60 billion in opioid settlement money over the next 15 years. We'll keep pushing for more transparency. For Spotlight on America, I'm Angie Moreski.
Looking ahead now to Saturday, which is a free fishing day in Tennessee. It's an annual tradition that dates back to 1991. All residents and visitors can fish without a license all day on Saturday, courtesy of the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. The weather's going to be decent. That offer applies to all Tennessee public waterways, TWRA-owned and operated lakes, and state park facilities. The hope is that fishing will get you and your family, hopefully your kids too, outside and bring a greater appreciation of nature.
I love that. I think that's a great thing to just kind of get into the outdoors when you're younger like that. You can just learn so much, so many life lessons, even just from fishing alone. So awesome thing right there. Today was really good weather too. If you were at a CMA Fest, it was warm and it was humid, but we did not have to worry about any sort of rainfall. So any of those outdoor plans today, they should have been pretty good for you once you got past the heat. Here's your live look over Broadway. You can just still see how crowded it is. It's going to be like that for the next few days too. A lot of folks coming into town for CMA Fest. Megan and I were down there doing the 5:30 show a little bit earlier, and it was already just super packed. A lot of people out there, but really a great weather day for that. 80 degrees, that's our current temperature right now. Mostly clear skies. It is all dry for us too. Temperatures right now, everybody else, lower 70s to the lower 80s. 74 over in Paris, 72 in Dickson. Again, we're at 80 in Nashville. A little bit cooler. Lebanon coming in at 73. And then 70, that's the current temperature over there in Clarksville, a little bit cooler around the plateau. Radar not showing any sort of rainfall across Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. This is not rain that's being picked up, just a little bit of clutter on the radar. So all dry for us right now, and that's exactly how we stay through the overnight hours too. Future track not able to pick up on any rain chance here across Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. So all dry for us right here, and we will stay dry through the rest of tomorrow too. So we start out tomorrow dry, we stay dry through the morning, through the afternoon. Also plenty of sunshine for us tomorrow too, and our temperatures will go down. So is the humidity. It is not going to be quite as humid for tomorrow. So overall, it should feel pretty good, all things considered. Saturday morning, we see some showers that are going to try to move into our western areas. These will keep on sliding to the east as we head through the next several hours on a Saturday. So Saturday at 10 a.m., those should start to move closer to Interstate 65 by about noon or 1 o'clock. They're going to run into some more dry air though, so I don't really think we're going to see much of a rain chance actually for late Saturday morning on into the early afternoon hours. That best chance for rain, that's going to hold off until a little bit later on in the night. This is Saturday night, early Sunday morning, right at midnight. Some of these showers, even some thunderstorms, are going to try to move in, and they're going to keep on sliding east through the rest of Sunday morning. This is 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. Still a fairly decent chance of some kind of widespread showers, a few thunderstorms across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. And then as we head on into the night, we'll still keep that rain chance around with us. But Monday, Tuesday, we should start to dry on out a lot better, just about a 20% chance. I'll show you that in just a second for a pop-up shower or storm. 63 for the low temperature tonight, mostly clear skies. If you're heading out to CMA Fest tomorrow, another really good day for you. Mostly sunny and dry, not as humid. High temperature should be around 84 tomorrow. Saturday night, we bring in that slightly better chance for showers and storms. We'll carry that on over into Sunday. The good news with those Saturday night and the Sunday storms, not expecting any sort of severe weather threat. Lower 80s for your high temperature Sunday, Monday.
Costco. In business news, if you love to get your books at Costco, you're going to have to find a new place to find your reading materials. Here's why. The discount retailer says it plans to stop selling books except for holidays and special promotions. Costco says the labor costs associated with stocking the books by hand just makes it too expensive to continue to offer them. No word exactly when the books will start disappearing.
Take a look at this. A Mount Juliet native and veteran astronaut Butch Wilmore and fellow astronaut Suni Williams are safely on the International Space Station. The Boeing Starliner that they launched yesterday in Florida docked in space today.
These organizations are the epitome of teamwork, and it is a blessing and it's a privilege to be a part of it.
We're just happy as can be to be up in space, one in Starliner, on an Atlas V, and then here on the International Space Station.
The astronauts will spend 8 days on the space station before returning home. Well, not something we all get a chance to do.
Did you see how the one American astronaut's hair was just everywhere, with no gravity? That was funny.
You got to train for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you got to.
Yeah, not everyone can say they went to space.
No. Would you go if you had the opportunity?
No. I'm very risk averse. No.
I probably wouldn't do it either.
Really?
Yeah.
Scott?
I'm too old to go to space.
All right, so 3 no's here.
Yeah, 3 no's. Well, not just country music stars with their names on Broadway bars. No, sir. We're going to tell you what makes John Bon Jovi's new restaurant and bar so unique.
Stories simplified. Check out what's really happening in Middle Tennessee with a Fox 17 News app.
I think being out in nature heals you. I think the outdoors resets your brain, takes away a little stress. And I hope my Jockey Outdoors collection can be a part of all that. Check out my Jockey Outdoors collection at jockey.com.
Well, get this. Hall of Fame rocker John Bon Jovi and his bandmates celebrate the grand opening of John's new Broadway bar, JBJ's.
That's funny. Now, Bon Jovi set up shop in the Old Merchants restaurant location at the corner of 4th and Broadway. Fantastic location down there. This new bar features 5 floors, 3 stages, 2 different rooftops overlooking Broadway, 2 different entrances to make it easier to get in and get out, and lots of Bon Jovi memorabilia. Could have guessed that. Bon Jovi says he also plans to work with Nashville's mayor to give back to the city.
In our charitable world, I have 4 soul kitchens and have built 1,000 units of affordable housing. So I want to make sure that when we find the right project with the mayor, who I've been in conversation with, you'll know it.
John Bon Jovi has a new album called Forever out now, which the lead singer says was inspired by his recent vocal surgery and a renewed appreciation for making music.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, we take a look at the loopholes critics are finding in President Biden's latest executive order.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
Especially Whiskey Row holds a special place in our hearts.
An award-winning sister act tonight performing at the CMA Festival downtown. Just how far they've come after years of performing at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row Bar on Broadway.
It's a tongue twister there. Well, now Tiger Lily Gold is coming back with fans lined up to see them after winning their first ACM award for New Duo of the Year. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live from Whiskey Row with more on their story. Hey, Caitlin.
This bar, Whiskey Row, is a very special place to Tiger Lily Gold. They used to perform here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, and now they're back here as award-winning musicians performing at CMA Fest. Now, Krista and Kendra Slaybaugh have been playing music together since they could walk. They started their bands 11 years ago in North Dakota, toured around the country, and then moved to Music City to pursue their dreams. Krista and Kendra performed at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row on Broadway every weekend, and now they're back after winning ACM New Duo of the Year and receiving 2 CMT nominations.
I mean, coming back, you're performing at CMA Fest. What is it like just kind of being here, being a part of this full circle moment?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we're just fans of country music. We grew up going to CMA Fest. Yeah, our first CMA Fest was 10 years ago, actually. So it's so cool to be here now on the performing side.
Keeps me coming back. Krista and Kendra say it's all about their fans and the people and places that have helped make their dreams come true. Now, this sister duo says that their goal is to sell out arenas and be the first sister duo to have a #1 hit on country radio. Reporting live from Whiskey Row, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Continuing coverage at CMA Fest with 90,000 people expected each day. Nonprofits are collaborating with Metro to ensure country music fans have a fun but also safe experience.
Do you guys want water or sunscreen or phone chargers?
Nonprofit Red Frogs, which started in Australia, has volunteer groups down on Broadway this weekend alongside Metro Police and medical personnel. Red Frogs works with the city to provide a safe space for people to stay hydrated and charge their phones. They say that this is really important for anyone who has had too much to drink. Councilmember Jacob Cupin, who represents downtown, says that he would like to have this nonprofit become a more regular face in our city.
We know with the recent disappearance of Riley Strain and death of Riley Strain and other challenges downtown that we really need to find a place to take care of our people, and that's been something I've heard a lot from constituents.
Well, there's also a first aid tent by the riverfront along with enhanced security personnel at every corner.
Country icon Dolly Parton using the kickoff of the CMA Fest today to announce a series of new projects for her, including a brand new downtown hotel and museum. Parton shared the news at the Music City Center to a packed house of people who lined up for hours before the doors even opened just to see her. In addition to the hotel, which will be located the old Baker Donaldson building downtown at 3rd and Commerce, Dolly announced a new line of wines, a new cookbook with her sister Rachel, and a new family album.
I'm really hoping that people are going to really just see how much talent there really is. Just like the Carter family, you know, everybody sings, everybody plays, and all that. So I'm just very proud of my family, like I'm proud of the Smoky Mountains.
That new album will come with a new docu-series tracing her family's origins back to Europe and how they came to East Tennessee. It will be called Smoky Mountain DNA.
Well, there are plenty of things to do this weekend at CMA Fest, including seeing a long list of talented country music artists. There are also 9 stages. 5 of them are free. They are the Riverfront stage right here, as well as the Dr. Pepper stage. This is down at the Ascend Amphitheater. There's also the Vibe stage. Where's that one? Down here. That's at the Walk of Fame Park. The other 2 stages are the Reverb stage right here, and that's at the southwest corner of 5th and Broadway. The Hard Rock stage over by, of course, Hard Rock at the end of Broadway there on the riverfront.
Continuing our CMA Fest coverage, Fox 17 has a long tradition of having our folks involved in the community and with the Country Music Association, and you will be seeing some of our folks downtown helping out with the CMA this year. Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick and Fox 17 This Morning anchor Jennifer Waddell sharing the stage tomorrow. Jill will kick off at 10 a.m. and Jen will join her around 11. Now, my co-anchor Megan O'Halloran hosting the Spotlight stage on Saturday from 11 to 11:50, and then another show from 12:30 to 1:20. On Saturday, Fox 17 reporter Kylie Walker hosting at the Spotlight stage from 1:30 to 3:20, and our Caitlin Miller, who's downtown right now, will host that very same stage from 3:30 to 4:50.
Well, earlier in the newscast, we told you about our X poll up and running right now, asking how many days do you plan on heading out to CMA Fest, and it looks like 268 people have weighed in. Most people, 92.2%, say none. No days, compared to 4.1% are heading down for 1 day, less than 1% for 2 days, 3.4% are going to attend 3 days. Each night, look for a brand new poll on our X page that you can participate in.
Today was a warm one for us, and it was humid too. If you were out there, you know that. 89 degrees, that was our high temperature that we hit here today in Nashville. Good news though, tomorrow is not looking the same, at least on the heat or the humidity. It's going to drop our temperatures down for tomorrow. We'll be in the mid 80s, and then also that humidity is going to come down a little bit too, make it a little bit more bearable out there for tomorrow. It was warm out there earlier today. Here's you a live look over Broadway. Obviously a busy night on Broadway, 79 degrees, our current temperature right here in Nashville. Overall, we are going to stay dry too, not expecting any rain chance for us for the rest of the night across Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. No rain popping up right there on the radar right now either. Temperatures there in the low to upper 70s for nearly everybody. 67 in Crossville, a little bit cooler right there. 73 Cookeville. Temperature right here in Nashville again at 79, 75 in Columbia, and it is 73 for the current temperature up there in Clarksville. So like we've been talking all night long, tomorrow's looking really good. If you are heading out to CMA Fest, it's not going to be quite as hot or humid. Also, plenty of sunshine for you tomorrow, and not going to really see any rain chance tomorrow either. Tomorrow should be totally dry. We do bring in a rain chance though. Once we hit the weekend, we'll have to wait a little bit for it. I think it's going to
buyers.
Tonight, critics are questioning a loophole in President Biden's latest effort to stem the tide down south and secure the southern border.
Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins explains what's at risk here.
As critics get a closer look at the executive order issued this week by President Biden, meant to tighten security at the southern border.
This action will help us gain control of our border, restore order to the process.
They're noticing loopholes.
I think the appropriate term for it is a scam, and it'll take the cartels a skinny minute to figure that out, that loophole out.
The Washington Free Beacon getting a hold of an internal memo about the order that states all a non-citizen has to do to avoid removal from the U.S. is express a fear or an intention to apply for asylum. And this can be expressed at any point in the process.
That's why this is nothing more than a political stunt. And I think the majority of the American people see right through it.
In the event migrants are unaware of this, the memo also instructs signs be installed in multiple languages all over ICE facilities, at intake areas, dining rooms, medical units, housing units, and law libraries, informing non-citizens of the policy.
The government is not supposed to give legal advice, and it's certainly not supposed to coach illegal aliens on how to evade the law.
While some critics worry this will lead to an abuse of the asylum system, others argue U.S. asylum policy must be protected.
This country always has to make sure that people who are escaping political persecution, right, have a place to come. That's what the asylum laws are for.
President Biden's executive order comes just 5 months away from Election Day, as immigration remains one of his biggest perceived political weaknesses. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Today, America and the Allied forces mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. I'm Rebecca Castro in Washington with a look at the commemorations here in D.C. and beyond.
Tomorrow's looking really good, but we do keep that chance for some showers and thunderstorms later on in the weekend. I'll let you know when the best time for that is coming up here in just a bit.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent companies.
The Teamsters Union has formally affiliated with the Amazon Labor Union, which represents roughly 8,000 warehouse workers at a facility in Staten Island. The union says a vote to ratify the affiliation will take place in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, Amazon's self-driving car unit Zoox will be expanding testing of its vehicles to Austin and Miami. Zoox started its testing in San Francisco in 2018, and it has since expanded to Las Vegas and Seattle. To start, the company will use Toyota Highlander SUVs with safety drivers, and robo-taxis won't be offered to the public. And the Venetian Resort Las Vegas unveiling a $1.5 billion reinvestment project, which includes overhauls of hotel suites, entertainment, gaming, and convention spaces.
We're reimagining every corner of the resort. 4,000 suites are being renovated right now. Those suites will start coming online at the end of summer.
2 new culinary concepts are also rolling out at the Venetian: Cote Korean Steakhouse and California-based restaurant Jelena, both expanding business to the Las Vegas resort. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority says the city drew more than 40.8 million visitors last year, the highest single-year total since the 2020 pandemic. That's business. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Today marks the 80th anniversary of one of the most important military campaigns in world history, the Allied invasion of Normandy, France, turning the tide in World War II.
Boy, that it did. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor is in Washington right now with a look at the ceremonies in our nation's capital and beyond.
From Washington, D.C. to Normandy, France, world leaders, military members, and World War II veterans gathered to commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day, a day that for many feels not long ago.
I'm 98 now, and I thought this was just yesterday. I don't know where all those years went so quickly.
The years may have flown by, but for those who were there, June 6, 1944 was likely the longest day of their lives, and one of the greatest displays of military might.
Just to look across the channel, there were so many ships. I like to say that Paul Bunyan could have walked ashore.
Naturally, with each anniversary, there are fewer and fewer soldiers still here to tell their stories. Today, there are just about 119,000 American World War II vets still living.
Some of those veterans who survived D-Day were honored Thursday by President Biden and other world leaders near the beaches they stormed 80 years ago.
Here, on the coast of Normandy, the battle between freedom and tyranny would be joined. Here, on that June morning.
A battle that freedom and liberty won, and something members of the greatest generation hope is preserved.
And I think the people who invaded on the Normandy beaches are the ones who need to get the credit that they started the process of assuring that we had liberty and our democracy. And it's up to the new generation to understand that and to preserve it and to carry it forward.
In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Today has been a really good day for us for the weather. Really haven't seen any sort of bad weather concerns across any of Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky. It was all dry for us today. We also had plenty of sunshine. The only thing that we had to deal with was the heat. It was a hot one today, also humid too. We hit 89 degrees right here in Nashville. That was our current temperature, and there's a live look over Broadway. You can just see how crowded it is. It's going to stay like that, obviously, for the next several days with CMA Fest going on. Good weather for CMA Fest tomorrow, too. 79 degrees, our current temperature right here in Nashville. Again, no rain that we're having to worry about for tonight. We're going to stay pretty clear, too. Temperatures for everybody else, we're in the low to upper 70s for most spots. Crossville still coming in as one of the cooler spots tonight. 67 there, 72 in Dickson, 75 down there in Columbia with 73 in Clarksville. So if you have any outdoor plans later on tonight, shaping up to be a fantastic night for you. All good as far as the rain goes. We see a little bit of blue popping up here on the radar. That is not rain. That's just a little bit of ground clutter. I think we're nearly all dry as we go through the rest of tonight. Future track not picking up on any rainfall for the rest of tonight. Tomorrow we're going to stay dry too. This is early tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Also notice no clouds hardly at all in place. Tomorrow we're going to get plenty of sunshine for really all day long tomorrow. This is the 5 o'clock picture. Still sunny and dry. And then later in the day on into Saturday, we do start to bring in more clouds. We're also going to try to bring in a rain chance. This is 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Try to bring in that rain chance to our northwestern areas, just maybe some spotty showers. Those are going to try to slide slide a little bit further to the east. This is the 2 p.m. picture for Saturday. They're going to run into some drier air, though, across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky, so definitely not looking at anything widespread for late Saturday morning or early in the afternoon. Just can't entirely rule out a couple of spotty showers, but overall, I think we're staying mostly dry throughout most of the day on Saturday until we hit the later part of the night. So right around midnight or so, 11 o'clock p.m. Saturday night to midnight, very early Sunday morning, we'll start to see a slightly better chance for some of these showers and thunderstorms to start to work their way across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky. That was a high resolution model. It doesn't go out as far. This model is not as high of resolution, but we can take this out several more days. So this is the one I'm showing here that just kind of widespread chance is going to remain possible for these off and on showers and a few thunderstorms throughout Sunday morning. And we're going to keep that rain chance around with us as we go through the rest of the day on a Sunday too. The good news for us though, with that shower and thunderstorm chance moving through Saturday night and into Sunday, not expecting any sort of severe weather with that. These should just be some regular summertime thunderstorms that we can get down here in the south. So overall, not too bad for us for tomorrow. 63, the low temperature tonight, mostly clear skies. Wind should be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. It was a little bit breezy earlier today. That did help with some of that heat, but tomorrow, I don't really think we're looking at that. We will be drier too. Upper 70s actually for us by 10 a.m. tomorrow. 3 p.m. we're in the mid 80s, and by 8 p.m. we're going to have our temperatures in the mid 70s. So if you have any plans for tomorrow, shaping up to be a really good day for you. Saturday night into Sunday, we bring in that better chance for showers and thunderstorms. Lower 80s from Sunday through Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, we're back to the mid 80s. Only a 20% chance for a pop-up storm Monday through Thursday. Pretty dry for next week.
Tennessee Titans ramping it up at minicamp this week. Fill you in on which unit has the edge so far and introduce you to the O-line's new best friend. Coming up after the break.
I'm Jennifer Waddell from Fox 17 News this morning. There's a study that is pairing veterans with specially trained service dogs, and this could have significant results for our veterans.
Tennessee Titans in the thick of their mandatory minicamp this week, and it's given us a better look at not just the offense and the defense, but more importantly, how they match up against each other. Still, no pads on at this point. That will come later on in training camp, but we did get to see the team's 7-on-7 sessions this week. Wednesday was red zone heavy, where the defense got the edge over the offense with several passes batted down and an interception. And today, the offense was a lot sharper, and head coach Brian Callahan even said he thought their group responded well after getting a little beat up by the defense yesterday.
Offensively, we bounced back from a not great day yesterday in 7-on-7 in the red zone. Defense kind of kicked our teeth in, and then today they came out with some good energy, and our first set of 7-on-7 was much better. So good to see that.
Coach Callahan also noted that they are at the end of their installs for both offense and defense. Now it's about fine-tuning everything in between, including the offensive line. This season, the Titans could see anywhere from 2 to 4 new starters up front. And new offensive line coach Bill Callahan has had his hands full trying to get his line ready. Now, Callahan brought with him 2 special sleds nicknamed Olga and Bertha, and already the 2 are big hits.
Those are my best friends right there. You know, I love going against it, and just every single day you look forward to getting the chance to really master your craft with it. So
yeah, they're tough. Everyone's getting the hang of it. Everyone's been humbled by it. I definitely got to get better at it. There's always a debate every day about which sled is off on that day.
My money's on Olga, by the way. College football season will be here before you know it, and that includes the Music City Bowl. The date for the TransPerfect Music City Bowl announced today, so now you can mark your calendar for December 30th. We'll be here before you know it. Nashville SC currently on their international break, but today the club chose to spend their spare time helping clean up the community. The Boys in Gold teaming up with Nobody Trashes Tennessee campaign, and they helped clean up several neighborhoods around Geodis Park. A great way to give back on their day off. Their next match, by the way, set for June 15th against the New York Red Bulls. Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
From weight loss to better health.
In health news, a new study shows that the same diet that appears to help fight heart disease and certain types of cancer could have even more promising impact on women's health.
Well, Fox 17 News medical reporter Liz Bonus takes a look at the Mediterranean diet.
Hey there, everybody. This study just released on the Mediterranean diet shows those who follow this kind of an eating plan are nearly 25% less likely to die early compared to those who don't eat this way. The Mediterranean diet is heavy on fresh fruits and vegetables, fish and seafood, and healthy fats for toppings such as olive oil.
The most important ingredient and my 99% olive oil comes from Mediterranean, one of the Mediterranean country.
Here at Ohio's Cafe Mediterranean, owner and chef Fazi Ozdil has quite a following from those who eat the Mediterranean way.
I feel a lot better. I have a lot more energy.
Darian Turner loves the diet's emphasis on natural flavors.
I use a lot of fresh herbs and also all the dry herbs coming from Mediterranean, Middle East, and make a huge difference.
Heather Hines and mom Kristen Phillips, whose son Lux is now 4, love the health benefits.
He loves a lot of just healthy foods. I would say, yeah, definitely my energy for sure. Actually, I've been eating Mediterranean since I was like 18 years old.
They may be onto something. This study found of 22,000 women eating this way mostly for 25 years reduced death risk nearly 25% from all causes and nearly 20% from heart disease and cancer. Those who ate this diet casually dropped death risk 16%. So that not only looks wonderful, it smells fabulous.
Absolutely.
That's all part of the goodness, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Some of the benefits may come from what you see here. Non-nutrients, flavors, colors, and textures.
It's so healthy, it's so good for you.
Others may come from what you don't see, a lot of heavy sweets and processed foods. They are often replaced with fresh goodness.
The flavor change completely, give the better quality.
What this all tells us is that small shifts in eating toward this way can add up to some big results. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
Well, the CMA Fest is all about the fans, and the fans have literally come from all over the world to be here this weekend.
Oh, they sure have. And earlier today, I was emceeing the Amp Dr. Pepper stage, catching up with some of those front row fans.
What country music star does not have a bar on Broadway? Blake Shelton, Kenny Chesney, Jason Aldean, Alan Jackson, or Miranda Lambert? You're on a phone a friend?
Kenny Chesney.
Oh, from Help in the Back. There you go. Where are you from?
Germany.
Germany. Woo!
Germany in the house.
Sorry, I beats New Jersey. Well, I think because you're foreign, I got to give you a Dr. Pepper hat.
Hey!
That was a fun crowd out there today.
Awesome.
A lot of personality.
I loved your hat.
A lot of energy.
Yeah,
Well,
that
thank
was
you.
good.
I got that one in Wyoming.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
We got 3 more days of this.
Yeah, y'all have 3 more days of it.
Oh, you're in it too.
Well, I guess a little bit.
You've got a lot of
You're
sun.
stuck
I'd say
here.
you're
Yeah.
already done today. Anyway.
You got to deal with it.
Today was a warm one, but hey, if you're going
What
out
a
there.
tough day out there.